Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live on this Thursday morning. It's now May 18th. Lisa, Lydia, Scott here. Before we jump into things, lots to talk about. I want to remind you, of course, we go live every weekday morning, but you can watch this anytime later on your Facebook feed. You can also find us on our Inform YouTube channel. And of course, we make this into a podcast every day as well. So if that's what you'd like to listen to, go to inform.com/podcast and look for the Inform Minute. And if you are watching, we just talked about this, we turn the camera instead of listening, now if you're listening on the podcast, you're like, what the heck? It's just a little bit different view, right?
Yeah.
You see the studio, but you see
different look.
Lydia's green screen back there.
It is, my big green box.
Okay, we need to jump right into weather because the smoke in the air that we've been covering on WDAY from the wildfires in Canada, it's crazy out there this morning.
PU, it stinks out there. That really kind of filled in from the upper layers of the atmosphere. We talked a lot about that yesterday and how we had the potential for that to happen as the cold front moved through. And that's exactly what happened. It brought in that smoky air from up above all the way down to the ground, reduced visibility, reduced air quality. It smells out there. So it's just kind of a yucky start to the day. It'll slowly get better from the northwest to the southeast. So that's kind of the key word, slowly. It's not all going away. There's still going to be a little bit of smoke and haze out there, but air quality and visibility should improve as the day goes on. So yeah, at least getting something a little bit better. Otherwise, we have the wind picking up out of the northwest today, gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour. It's going to be a really blustery day. That pushes our temperatures backwards. We'll boost near 60 by about midday and then crash down into the 40s and 50s by supper time tonight. So warmer at lunch, colder at supper. Otherwise, mostly cloudy sky. Any sun you do see is still going to have some of that haze to it. And then there are some scattered showers moving through as well. So you have the potential to get a little bit of rain today. Not everywhere we'll see rain, but that potential is out there. Lots of different things.
Yeah,
you got smoke, wind, backwards temps, and showers.
Oh boy.
So lots to track and kind of keep track of today. Otherwise, tomorrow, decreasing clouds, still kind of a cool day with highs in the 60s, and then 70s and sun are back for the weekend.
Okay, nice turnaround. Just get through today.
Yes.
Going in the right direction.
Yep, it'll get better. 80s early next week. So,
cool. All right. Is that air quality alert still in place?
Yes, still in effect on the Minnesota side until noon today.
Okay.
So that is kind of an indication or a hint that we are expecting things to get better. That's in effect until noon. Reminder, there's no agency to issue such an alert on the North Dakota side, but anytime you have that northern Minnesota, it's pretty safe to assume that similar conditions are taking place in North Dakota. So listen to your body today, scratchy throat, even watery eyes, heart beating a little bit faster. You just feel a little more tired. Take a break inside. It's hard to be out there, especially if you have any respiratory issues or breathing sensitivity. So listen to your body today and
Good
every
advice.
day.
And every day. That's good advice. All right. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you.
I'm thinking we might even get to see some of her live cut-ins on GMA with this
possible.
angle as well. She has to get back to work because she's on.
She's got stuff to do.
She's got stuff to do. All right, let's kind of expand on the smoke. We've been talking about it all morning, but we were looking at some other maps as well. The alerts are in Minnesota because of the agency there, but the Fargo-Moorhead area, Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, all in the very unhealthy category when we talk about the air quality. What was the website that we were looking at?
What's the website?
Airnow.gov.
Airnow.gov.
Okay.
It's very interesting to look at. Yeah,
it's all color coded. It's very easy to see what areas are being most impacted. Now, the only thing is on that map, there's some areas that just don't have sensors, so they don't show up with any color. That doesn't mean the air is good
there. Really bad. Good. Really bad.
You can probably assume it's similar to what the nearest color is.
But it was like from healthy to, from very unhealthy, unhealthy, very unhealthy. And there was hazardous as well, like down in South Dakota.
Yeah, like at the North Dakota, South Dakota border, down towards like Pierre, hazardous, which is alarming.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a good word for it. For sure. So just be aware of that. Use caution if you're going to be outside. Everything that you just heard Lydia say, listen to it. Great advice. And we'll keep tracking it for you, especially throughout the day. As she says, things are going to improve. We'll have an update at 11 a.m. on our news and then this afternoon as well.
All right, let's dive into some headlines this morning. Today, a man who's accused of running over a teenager with his car after a street dance in McHenry, North Dakota, is set to have a pre-trial conference. 42-year-old Shannon Brandt is facing a manslaughter charge and is set to go to trial May 30th. But today's meeting will determine if that case can be resolved without going to trial. Brandt is accused of killing 18-year-old Kaylor Ellingson last September after that street dance. Brandt told officers he ran over Ellingson after a political argument where he felt threatened. Investigators later found out that there is no evidence supporting that claim.
Another update for you on a story we've been following for quite some time. The now 70-year-old man convicted of killing UND student Drew Shadeen 20 years ago is now slated to be resentenced after a judge overturned his death sentence. This is the latest development in the story that we've been tracking since 2003. Attorneys have asked federal judge Ralph Erickson to convert the sentence for Alfonso Rodriguez Jr. to life in prison instead for the kidnapping and murder of Drew Shadeen. Of course, Shadeen's body was found in a ravine near Crookston 5 months after she went missing from the Columbia Mall in Grand Forks. Erickson overruled the death penalty because he says Rodriguez's attorneys didn't do enough to challenge a medical examiner's findings on how Shadeen died. Judge Erickson will still have to sign off on this request before Rodriguez is moved off of death row.
All right, the Cass County Jail, it's actually bursting at the seams right now, and plans and meetings are underway to expand that facility. Just yesterday, 10 inmates were transferred to Grand Forks from Cass County. The jail administrator there says the Cass County Jail has been averaging 320 inmates a day over the last 3 months. That's up from the 300 inmates they were averaging at this time last year. They have a max capacity of 348 beds and can receive anywhere from 15 to 20 new arrivals a day. But the struggle to find space is a daily occurrence right now. That planned expansion would add 192 more beds. Meetings to discuss the expansion and that project are expected to happen next week.
A Minnesota bill that would require employers to provide workers with more than a week of sick leave is now headed to Governor Tim Walz's desk. The bill will create 48 hours of sick and safe time for Minnesota workers. It can be used for illness, appointments, child care, or to seek help for domestic abuse. The governor has already voiced his support for the bill and is expected to sign it as soon as it hits his desk.
This week is National Police Memorial Week, and to honor police officers that have given their life in the line of duty, Grand Forks is holding a special memorial service. It's happening at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Optimus Park. Now, there will be some parking available on the street and overflow parking at the Icon Sports Center for that service. Of course, it's open to the public. And because of that ceremony, part of Cherry Street in Grand Forks will be closed off for a chunk of the day. That road will be blocked off from Optimus Park to 47th Avenue South from 12:30 to 3:15 today.
Essentia Health Marathon events resumed today. Of course, Wednesday was kind of a break day. Tonight, the kids get in on the action. We talked about this quite a bit, but right now the air quality is just terrible. But hopefully, as the improvements go on, they'll still be able to run outside. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But right now, the kids' races start at 6:30. They start and end at the Fargo Dome. 12 and under are welcome to run. Of course, parents, guardians can run along with. There's a half-mile route and a full-mile route as well. You can still register at fargomarathon.com. And, of course, remember tomorrow night, the 5K. And then Saturday, we have the full marathon, half marathon, and 10K. So just kind of ramping things up to Marathon Day.
Yeah, lots of fun events going on. All right, this is a big story nationally. Montana is the first state to sign into law a bill that bans TikTok. The social media app has been prohibited for state business in Montana since last year, but this new bill forbids it from being offered on mobile app stores to any user that's in Montana. Now, a TikTok spokesperson says that even the bill's champions admit there's going to be no feasible way to do this, so there's plenty of questions surrounding about how this law is going to be enforced, how this all is going to work. I'm sure there'll be plenty of stories that come out in the future about that.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
We'll see if any states follow suit on this whole thing. It's been a hot button topic with, of course, China and all that type of stuff. So, but that law is expected to take effect next January. So, see what happens with that.
Hot Mic with John Mizzo is coming up this morning, 9 to 11, every weekday morning on WDAY Extra. And today, John's talking about the big upset. The Heat upset the Celtics last night in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So. Yeah,
wild. The Heat are an 8 seed, I believe, and I don't know what seed the Celtics are, but they've been on a hot run. So we'll see what happens if they can keep the streak up, and it's getting to that time of the year where the NBA playoffs are very exciting.
All right. Remember, right now is a great time to get your pass, all-access pass to inform.com. 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. Just go to inform.com/subscribe to get that deal.
And remember, we're going to have updates on all the smoke and what's going on with the weather today at 11 on our next newscast. Plus, we have it covered this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning for first news on Friday, 5 to 7 in the morning.
Hopefully it smells better tomorrow.
That's
and looks better too. Have a great day, everyone.